One of my favorite gifts to give and to receive is a book. I especially love a cookbook, and I have dozens of them. My new favorite is Reba McEntire's lifestyle book, Not That Fancy: Simple Lessons on Living, Loving, Eating, and Dusting Off Your Boots. In addition to featuring more than 60 comfort food and Southwestern-inspired recipes and cocktails, Reba shares never-before-told stories from her childhood on the ranch to her career on the stage. It's a perfect book to give as a gift, and trust me, the not-so-fancy recipes are just right for the beginner or the experienced cook. You can order Reba's Not So Fancy by clicking on the Got It From My Mama Amazon storefront link that I have listed in the show notes and on Instagram. Or to get $3 off, you can go to faithgateway.com and use the code MAMA3. You'll also get free shipping. Enjoy the book and let me know what you make. Well, if you aren't already, stop and follow Ilona Maher on social media. You'll thank me later. Ilona is absolutely hilarious, and what a year she's had. Ilona is a bronze medalist from Team USA's Women's Olympic Rugby team, and now she's chasing that mirror ball trophy on Dancing with the Stars. Embracing her 5'10", 200-pound frame, Ilona is such a light for body positivity, impacting young girls everywhere. Getting to talk to her mom about this journey was a delight. Her mom has worked for 38 years as a nurse. She's raised 3 daughters and is relishing in every moment of Ilona's exciting journey. So let's start with just a little bit about your family. So you guys live up north. Are you in Vermont? Is that right?
Yep. So we live in Burlington, Vermont, which is the largest city in the state of Vermont. And the girls were all born here.
Were you raised overseas?
I was born of 2 fully Dutch parents here in the United States, and then at age 7 went back to Holland, and then came back to the United States at 16, but always raised in a fully Dutch household.
Mother of 3 girls, and then what is their age difference?
30, Ilona is 28, and Adriana is 25.
Okay, so you had some busy years with 3 young girls, kind of stair-stepped, right?
Yeah, they're busy years, but when you're in it, it's your life. You don't realize that you are busy. Now I look back and I see the moms with the 3 kids strolling, 2 in the stroller, 1 in the front pack, or, 2 in a stroller, 1 on the hand. And I'm like, my goodness, woman, are you crazy? And then you look back and you're like, wait a minute, I did that. I was that mom. Yeah, exactly. But when you're in it, you don't, it's your life. That's all you do is you raise kids and, bring them healthy and happy forward.
Yeah, exactly. So you and your husband were always of the mindset that you wanted your girls to try lots of things. And so they sampled all kinds of different sports before Ilona landed on rugby. Tell me about some of the things that your girls were involved in.
My husband is a huge reader, and he is a trivia king, and he is just has so much knowledge. And one of the things that before we had kids or like right after we had our first girl, did reading and found out that girls especially do better when they are involved. So that just led us on a path for, tapping into whatever our community had to offer, anywhere from itty bitty champ camp, where we started in the summers, at 4 years old, mornings they would be allowed to go to camp. And then we did itty bitty soccer and itty bitty basketball, and we did art projects, and we did finance camp, and we did, all kinds of things to, introduce the girls to different modes of entertainment and body movement and whatever. But, we are definitely kind of landed on becoming a athletic family, which is very interesting because that's not my culture. As in Holland, athletics is not as pushed or is not as integral within the school system. Okay. So that for me was a big change. But yeah, the girls started very early on with soccer, and from soccer we did pitching clinics, so softball pitching. We did basketball, anywhere from kindergarten basketball, where it's 5 kids on a court, 1 ball, and all 10 kids are all around it, to, and ending up for Ilona with rugby at her very, very last semester of high school, or the spring of her senior year. She finally was like,
Yeah, I think that is a part of her story that I love is that she, didn't really try that or get into that till the latter years of high school even,
Yes.
and then ended up having the opportunity to play in college. And then, of course, to go on and play, on the biggest platform a rugby player can play on. So amazing. Tell me about what that journey was like for you guys.
So it was very interesting journey because so Ilona had decided that the last spring of her senior year she did not want to play softball anymore. She was the starting pitcher, but just her sister had graduated and softball was not a sport that had enough action for her. And so she was like, we said that's fine. You don't have to do that, but we would like you to do something. And so she's like, well, the other high school, so we live in Burlington, Vermont. There, South Burlington, Vermont had a rugby team that encompassed, I think, like 7 different high schools in the area.
Oh, wow.
So she actually showed up on the pitch like at 4:45, whichever time that they were supposed to arrive, and nobody was there because she was a trained athlete who if you had to be there at 5 o'clock, you made sure you were there 15 minutes before so that you could put on your cleats and you could be. And she's like, Dad, she called. She's like, are you sure of the date? Nobody's here. And Michael's like, that's rugby culture. Just wait. They'll get there. And yes, at like 5, somebody finally showed up. But anyway, so she tried rugby. Very first few practices, I understand, she really got the taste for it. And then she finally played in her first game and was like, this is for me. And
Wow.
so Michael was standing on the sidelines and had coaches coming up to him going, your daughter is very good. And Michael's like, yeah, she's been playing sports and she has like, and she can see what's going on the pitch and in generalize has, experience. And they're like, no, you don't understand. She is good. And that's where it's been going ever since.
Okay. Yeah. It's of course she's obviously, a tough girl, but it's a rough sport. What's it like as a mom to watch your daughter play rugby at that level? It's brutal.
So, I have to be honest, I was not a proponent because at the time I had started dating my husband and watching him, which it was very fun because there's very, very handsome, strong, muscular men on the pitch, and it was fun
Yeah.
to watch. But I was looking at it from an eye of a woman who was appreciating it, not, and it was difficult. I'm an emergency room nurse, so I had been taking care of multiple, injuries stemming from games that were happening around our area. So for me, it was a little bit like, really?
Yeah. I didn't even
So
think about the aspect of you being an emergency room nurse.
yeah,
That's probably the lens that you see everything your kids do through,
yes.
right?
Everything goes through the lens of an ER nurse of what is the worst thing that can happen, and then you work down.
Yeah.
That's how we work. You think of, is it a heart attack? No, okay. Then you come down, it's like it's indigestion.
Yeah.
So, but so that was definitely a had to like step back and trust the process and trust the incredible culture and the rules and regulations. So they're called laws in rugby that keep their players safe.
Okay.
And I have to say, as I have become more familiar and have become more knowledgeable about the laws of rugby, it's still hard. And I've had it where, Ilona actually, I think she got hit and she kind of like, I think she lost consciousness, and that was in Dubai. And there's nothing worse than sitting on a couch watching your child and you cannot get to Dubai in like 2 hours. It's like,
Right. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, I bet that
yeah,
is. You mentioned being an ER nurse, and we should commend you. Like 30 years working as a nurse,
38,
is that right?
38.
38. Well,
Yeah.
that's really awesome. And I just think that should be commended like any person doing service for our country because it's not an easy job for sure. Say her decision to also study nursing must have come from, and she must have been impacted by you in that.
Yes. So she was impacted in a way that Ilona's always wanted to be a physician.
Mm.
But when you go to college, because this was before, so she was applying to colleges. Ilona's always been an excellent, excellent student also. She was applying to colleges. This was before rugby ever came into her life. So she wanted to go to pre-med. And when you go to college for pre-med, really, you are getting a bachelor's in chemistry or a bachelor's in biology. Really, when you graduate 4 years later, you don't really have a marketable degree. Even if you want to teach middle school science, you have to go get a teaching certificate before you're able
Right.
to
Right.
really
You're
do
just getting the
anything.
background for the next thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Okay.
my thought was, and again, this was before, she played rugby, was why don't you go into nursing? Because if you get a 4-year nursing degree, you are immensely marketable. You can go anywhere in this country, you can get a job anywhere, and, you can then pursue your MD, from there.
Mm-hmm.
And so she did that. She actually was admitted into the University of Vermont's nursing program, which is one of the toughest undergrad programs to get into is nursing. And she was accepted, and then was recruited out of UVM because there's it's called Norwich, and it's the oldest military college in the United States. And they had an amazing rugby team and they had nursing. And the coach there was like, hey, why don't you come? So she actually not transferred, but went to Norwich for 1 year. Norwich was not for her. And so then it came up where she had to, do some research, and she discovered there was an incredible program at Quinnipiac, which is in Hamden, Connecticut, with a fantastic coach called Becky Carlson. They had a nursing program, and they had a very, very good and funded. And, it was a D1 NCAA. It wasn't so rugby, I think, still is an emerging or a something like that sport. But it was a very, very, very well run rugby program. And she actually transferred there, and they went on to win 3 national championships with Ilona on the
Wow.
team. Yeah.
Yeah. And she was able to pursue nursing as well.
Yep. So she has a BSN, so she has a Bachelor of Science in Nursing. And then because she was part of the Olympic program, the Olympic team, the Olympic Committee actually has, I think, contracted with DeVry University or with universities, maybe, I'm not sure, for people to attain their undergrad, because there's a lot of amazing athletes who, put their academics on hold to attain and to pursue their dream of Olympic
Yeah, I
glory.
wondered how that works when you have athletes that basically have to put these goals or pursuits on hold in order to
Yeah.
go achieve those dreams. So they are supportive of that and help
Yeah.
them.
So they have, many of Ilona's teammates were pursuing their undergrad, but Ilona at the time already had her BSN, and we were like, well, if they're going to pay for it, why don't you get? So she also has a master's in business administration.
Wow, she is a sharp cookie. Wow, that's really awesome. And I
Yeah,
know you're equally proud of her for all the different things that she's been able to accomplish for sure.
absolutely.
Tell me about the Olympic experience for your entire family, getting to go and take part and just reveling in that.
It was a stark difference between the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, where we were sitting on our couches and watching from home. We had an absolutely fantastic time. It's crazy to be able to say that we have attended the Olympics and to have witnessed the energy and the grandeur that is the Olympics. It was, we always went with the attitude, it doesn't matter. Of course, it always matters. You always want to attain the highest ranking gold. But also, it was, we also went in it with like, it's incredible honor to even have been selected and for us to be able to go watch our daughter.
Right, just to
Um,
experience it.
so we have our daughter Olivia and Adriana, and my husband Michael. We were there, and then my sister Annalene and her husband Edward also came, and then
Wonderful.
2 of Ilona and Olivia's and Adriana's friends from our neighborhood, they came. So
Wow.
it was fantastic. It was
Yeah.
really, really fun. A lot of family and friends of our athletes were there also. We actually took a picture on the stairs, and it was very, very impressive how many people had decided to come, because it's not you know that when you go, it's not going to be a inexpensive trip.
Mhm.
It's an investment in memories. It's an investment in your experience, and
That's a
so
great way to put that.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was it was incredibly expensive, but it was just to be able to stand to be in that, because I always have to walk. I can't sit. I have to move when Ilona's playing. So when we were all there for that, what we call rose gold medal match,
I love it. That's great.
it was. I don't even think I can remember. It's. I've rewatched that game multiple times, but to be there live was electric. It was absolutely incredible.
I can't imagine. When we would see your husband on camera a lot, we may not have seen you as much because you are not sitting in the stands. You're pacing somewhere.
No, well, I'm in the stands, but I'm usually somewhere where I can, at least take a couple steps back and forth and back,
I would be the same way. I would have to be like, I couldn't just sit there and zone in. Those games were so exciting. And I thought it was so funny the other night. We're going to talk about Dancing with the Stars a minute ago, but this performance this week, when she said, I'm the personality hire, I felt like she was the personality hire for the rugby team because, she received so much attention and focus on her. And she really was, I mean, every sport has kind of that standout personality from whether gymnastics or, whatever event that you're watching or into. But I felt like it was her that America kind of fell in love with.
Ilona consciously had built that platform even starting before Tokyo.
Really?
Yep. She, as we said, she's a smart cookie, and she started maybe March before the Tokyo Olympics in 2021. They had gone to Madrid for some games, and she had posted a couple of TikToks with her best friend, Nicole Heverland. She was seeing the reactions that she was getting. So she consciously, went to Tokyo knowing that there was a platform and a root system to be built for this new technology, really, when you think of it, that, it really hasn't, it's not even that old for her to take advantage of. And so she went into, Tokyo knowing that people are always like very Twitter about everything that goes on behind the scenes. And she tapped into that. So she had already established the root system. Tokyo continued building for the next 3 years and then really capitalize on it in Paris. And, she's worked very hard to establish the following that she has.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt that she is absolutely hilarious. She obviously has a very natural, just innate humor. Yes. I mean, is that how she was as a child as well?
She always says that she's the least funniest of the three girls. I think they're all hilarious, actually.
That's so funny.
But they're very funny. They've been actually an absolute total joy to Michael and I.
Oh, I'm sure. And you said the other day, you were telling me all the girls are tall, but you call Ilona's your petite daughter.
Yeah, she's the petite one. She's I used to be, in comparison to our, people, I was a taller woman, and then I proceed to have three beautiful, magnificent, tall Amazons, and now I'm the tiny one. But of the three, Ilona is actually the shortest of the three.
The shortest of the three. Okay, interesting.
Which her sisters won't let her forget.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure there are two types of dog owners, the ones that let their dog sleep in the bed with them, and then there are the ones like us that would really rather him not, but every morning when we wake up, Tucker has curled himself up right at our feet, and honestly, he's just too cute to say no to. Thank goodness for the Coat Defense Daily Preventative Powder. This powder is so easy to use. Tucker loves it. It acts as a dry shampoo, and it actually repels dirt and eliminates odors. So Tucker stays so much more clean and fresh since we started using it. You can visit coatdefense.com and receive 15% off your purchase with the code MOMMA15. Believe me, you will notice a difference, and just maybe you'll let your furry friend climb up on the bed every once in a while.
I want to talk about the, really the heart behind me even wanting to have this conversation with you, but it's what she has done. You talked about how she built and intentionally built this platform, but what she has done for body positivity and for young women
and her deciding just to talk about her size and have a beautiful, strong body and the impact that that's had on other people. Tell me about kind of what you've seen through her in that journey.
So every time, I don't know if you've seen the BMI video that she made, where
Yes.
somebody had made a snarky comment saying, well, she probably has a BMI of 30, at which point Ilona clapped back going, well, you know what? You're right. I do have a BMI of 30, 29.3 to be exact. And so she went on to say that I had given her, because it, probably was me, one of her health evaluations that had to be turned into the office before she played sports. And underneath it said that she was overweight. I hear that and I see that and I still kind of like hurts my heart, thinking that my child was feeling that. You know, I always thought that we, made our kids understand that they were stunning no matter what. But, not quite realizing how much influence society has still to this day on how women perceive themselves. And there are not many tall, strong, beautiful women who have muscles, really for others to look up to. You had Serena Williams, who's stunning, but they're few and far between. And it's just amazing to see. Ilona just did a dance where she was Luisa from Encanto.
Yes.
And there was a little video of a mom that she posted on TikTok or Insta, one or the other, where her 3-year-old, after watching Ilona dance, started lifting, I think it was like this little bench, and then she found her little horse and was lifting the little horse, and the mom's going, you're so strong. So it is amazing to see how fast a positive role model can make a difference.
Mm-hmm. In the teen years, that middle school age, those kind of tough years, particularly with girls and body image and finding out who they are. And, image just tends to matter so much at that age. Were there difficult days with your daughters?
So we made it a little difficult for them. Our girls went to a Catholic school from preschool through 8th grade. So, and it was a teeny tiny little school, fabulous school and fantastic school, but it gave them an incredible root system academically. But once it didn't really do much for them socially, because I think Ilona graduated one of 9 kids.
Oh,
so,
okay. Really tiny.
Coming into a large, public high school definitely was difficult. Ilona had to work on her social graces, not graces, but just how to socialize and how to insert herself into groups, which was very difficult. It was not one of her strengths. And even now, friends that they have now and are good friends were like, yeah, you were kind of weird in high school. So it was difficult. She's always been strong. She's always been tall. She's always never had a petite frame. She has big shoulders. She stands up straight because that's what you stand up straight. So there were definitely ups and downs where, you want to look a certain way and you never, ever will.
Yeah.
Her two friends from, kindergarten on are these itty bitty little girls. They're like 5'1" or 5'2", and one weighs maybe 100 pounds and the other one weighs maybe 120, and they're tiny little things. You see them next to Ilona. But yeah, so that must have been very difficult for her.
So when you see her now, even the way that, she's dressed on Dancing with the Stars and the femininity that we've been able to see, kind of the juxtaposition of her on the rugby field and now just stunning, seeing this side of her, to see her own that and talk so positively about it must mean a lot to you as a mother.
I love the fact that she brings femininity onto the rugby field also. Wearing her lipstick and having bright red lipstick and doing her, her sport and doing it very, very well. And then, you get the other side, which is then Dancing with the Stars, where she wore the outfit that she wore for dedication night, the blue one.
Oh my goodness. Yes. It was so elegant.
It was an unbelievable, the costuming department hit it out of the park with that. She had actually said that she really wanted to show more skin. She wanted to, show off her shoulders and her back and her arms and her legs. She wanted to show as much as she was legally allowed to show on TV, because the other dancers were doing that also. And I must say, the costume department put together an outfit that showed off her beauty, her femininity, her strength, but they did it in a way that maintained such elegance and such femininity, and so it was just so beautiful, so beautiful.
Right. Okay, let's talk about the dancing. We know she's athletic. We know she's smart, all the things. But when you saw her dance, were you like, who is this?
Well, I was like, wow, guess that 6-week, ballet course that I put her in when she was 4 years old must have helped.
That must have been what it was. It was the magic. 6 weeks of ballet.
That's what did it. And I think that was mainly because I wanted to, buy pink, little tights and a little pink, one piece and a little cute little, ballet slippers. I don't remember Ilona really going, Mom, I want to do this. So I was incredibly impressed. I am just, and I cannot even put it in words how brave and incredible and how gutsy I find it that you, as a rugby player, where you have trained your body to be this muscle to go forward and to run as fast as you can, and nobody stands in your way, and being very controlled and powerful, to having the guts, I guess, to step onto a live national televised program to dance.
Yeah. I mean,
I
it's
find that to be
bravery at a whole
incredible.
different level.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And to do it gracefully and to do it well. I
Yep.
mean, and you can tell she's working hard to be able to
Yes.
perform like she does each week.
But she has that, if when Ilona puts her mind to it, and I have to say that's with all three of our girls, when they put their mind to something, they will give it their all, and they will be dedicated, and they will not shortchange anything. They will, give 1%, or you can always say that, but they will give it an absolute 100%, and that's what Ilona's doing. She will give it everything she has. She won't cut corners. She will. What you're seeing is what she is the best that she can do.
Yeah. How cute are she and Alan?
It is lovely, because you could also have been partnered with somebody that you like.
Yeah.
But not
I mean,
enjoy.
it certainly looks like a true friendship that they have
They're
developed.
having a good old time, the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you get on social media and look forward to what they're going to do next? Because they
Yes,
post
of
so many
course.
cute things.
Yes, I have been, because it also is sometimes very hard to look at social media and to read comments that are left by people with not very good intentions, or very positive things to say, or just because of the anonymity and the fact that they are, no one can find them. They will put stuff down that I am like, and I am not allowed to interact. I am not allowed to.
Oh, it's so hard
on those.
Momma Bear comes out, and it's hard.
And it's
hard.
like, dare you? How do you have the unmitigated gall to start that sentence?
Right.
So those
Another
are
thing-
those are
Oh, I'm sure. And it's just, it's just a sad statement of society in general to see people that will hide behind a screen and write things that you'd never say to someone in person.
Never.
I mean,
never think of that. You would
it's
never
hateful,
consider
and
saying that.
it's super sad. You were recently out of the country when Ilona had a night that she was emotionally struggled with a little bit, and you had to watch that on television and watch her break down and be so upset. How hard was that for you?
So we had traveled on Monday into Tuesday, and I had it's a 6-hour difference, so I had limited amount of sleep, and my 91-year-old mother and I went over to, I helped my mom go over. So it was lovely to be in Europe, but I had set the alarm, and I had messed up the alarm, and I just, all of a sudden, I woke up too late, and then I saw a video of what was going on, and I'm like, okay. Again, can't get to my child, but I also think that there was just so many things that have been happening. Ilona started with, 3 years of training for the Olympics. Then it was going to the Olympics, and not just going to the Olympics, but having 2 full-time jobs, being a professional athlete and being a social media content creator. Those are two full-time jobs. Then we went from the Olympics. We went and had a fantastic time, celebrating the team, to Ilona staying in Paris a little bit longer with some, contracts that she had, and she did. And then she was supposed to come home on Monday on her birthday, which that didn't happen because she went to see Seth Meyers. From Seth Meyers, she went to do the Sports Illustrated swimsuit photo shoot. So she finally made it home on Thursday. Then we had a big celebration at the airport. She had a day off on Friday. We had a big celebration on Saturday. And then she was supposed to be home for at least 3 weeks, and that turned out to be 10 days. And then she went directly to LA to start training for Dancing with the Stars. And again, dancing is not her comfort zone. She'll dance in the club and she has some great rhythm, but, that's a whole different genre of dancing that they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think that day was just, I know that she was having a hard week that week and just couldn't get the steps. And if Ilona's a streber, she wants to, she wants to get it done, and she wants to get it done right. And she wants to, and if it, I think just everything just bubbled up. And the thought of disappointing her fans and disappointing Alan and disappointing us and just all kind of, came out at that moment.
Yeah, just that emotion.
Yes.
Do you worry a little bit about the pace she's running at? I mean, it's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do have to say she has an incredible support system of her sisters. So her oldest sister, Olivia, is her manager, who is, who's at her side. Her younger sister is, she doesn't live in LA, but she's in New York, but she's incredibly involved also, advising and, just being an incredible support system. She has a great agent. Yes, she is. She's working hard. And so, yeah. But as you well know, for female athletes, you got to get it when the getting's good. She's not a male athlete who, can get a contract for a football team and just sitting on the bench or being a practice partner will gain them, more money than a, top tier rugby player or basketball player or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. She's helping pave the way for the women.
Yep. And that's actually what she is paving. As she says, she wants to leave the jersey better than what it was. She wants to she doesn't want it better. She wants to keep improving on the jersey because the women that came before also improved it in such a way that it made it what it was for her to improve for future generations.
Tell me about the phone call you got when she said she was going to be a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
I was like, what? Because my generation, this Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition was I think was like the most bought swimsuit edition ever. Everybody wanted that one. So it was it was very, very, very cool. I thought the pictures were stunning. I thought she looked beautiful. There were a few I was like, oh, hey, that's a tiny bikini. But it was this incredible appreciation of this beautiful, strong, magnificent body that accomplished a bronze medal in the Olympics.
Yeah. What is a fun story for you of either someone you've met or somewhere you've been with her or some opportunity of something that has come up that's impacted your family that you've gotten to experience because of everything that's going on with Ilona?
Well, here we are chatting. That's one.
Thank you.
But it does my heart good when I walk with her and I see, she's now at a point where people like, you see the eyes and, they're watching and appreciating. But I was just in Holland and we had gone to the first store called Hema in Holland. And I was there all of 10 minutes and somebody came up to me and went, "Are you Ilona Maher's mom?" So
really?
I was like, "Wow, okay."
All the way in Holland. Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, that's really fun. That's fun. You had a fun interaction with
she has a lot of followers that are not just, Ilona's platform is such as that she's not just looking for rugby followers. Ilona has an incredible broad spectrum of followers that includes all ages. and not just the athletic side. She is, her followers follow her because of her body positivity and her personality and what she brings to the table in social media.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, she's one of my favorite follows. And I'll admit I wasn't following her till about a month ago. And I mean, I certainly watched the journey through the Olympics. But one of my friends was like, "Do you follow Ilona Maher? She's you have to." And I was like, "Oh my goodness. Yes," because I'm watching her on Dancing with the Stars. And now I'm like, okay, what's she posting today?
Yep.
Because she's so incredibly creative, and it's just really fun and special to watch, that journey. I was thinking about another one of the fun moments. She told me a cute story about meeting Jason Kelsey over during the Olympics, right?
But who would ever have, we live in a very, very small, like one of the smallest per population states in the United States, Vermont. Yeah. Who would have ever thought that we'd be standing in a room with Kelsey and her husband, Jason, because Ilona actually had a relationship with Kylie before, she more or less dragged him to maybe to the rugby. I'm not sure how it actually came, but so here we are, lovely couple, absolutely lovely couple. And my husband, who, is a huge also football fan, got to throw and teach Jason, a famous football player, how to throw a rugby ball. He actually, we had shirts made with Ilonas heads on them.
I saw those. Those were so fun.
They were, but the fascinating thing is that my husband had actually had one made like 2 years ago, but never had an opportunity to wear it. So he actually wore it when we were in Madrid, Spain, and got a little notoriety because of that. So then we made one for the whole family, like everybody had one, and so I had one that was way too big for me. He was Jason Kelsey said, "Hey, you got one of those?" I'm like, "Hey, wait a minute, here you go." So I held it up. I actually literally put it on him, and then he went on his way to, I believe, gymnastics, and had multiple pictures taken with famous gymnasts with Ilona Maher all over his body.
Boy, that almost sounds like Mama's got some PR skills too, right?
You always have to keep thinking.
Yeah, that was great. That's great. Well, I'm so happy for your family and the journey, and what a delight and joy she is to watch on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, can you even imagine if she ends up being one of the finalists?
So far, so good. We're going for that Len Goodman Mirrorball trophy.
Yes.
That's what we're going for. I actually was able to see her. I think it was her second dance. And then my husband, Michael, he was there on Tuesday. So he got to see her for the Disney show.
Oh my goodness.
Then we'll see what happens. And, if the opportunity arises again for us to be there, we will hop on a plane and get over there.
Yeah. In the meantime, you've got shifts to go fill at the hospital as an ER nurse, right?
Yep. Well, today I do both ER and labor and delivery. So today I'm doing a combo. I have to lecture on the pregnant trauma patient. So that is my next thing I'm doing today.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I see where Ilona gets her drive and ambition and heart for helping others and all the things. So thank you so much. I've loved getting to meet you. I'm going to be cheering her on. It's been so fun. I've gotten to talk to 4 of the moms of dancers on Dancing with the Stars, from Riley Arnold, Stephen Karasik, and Joey's mom. That episode is not out yet, but we've done that one. It's just been, so now when I watch it, I feel so connected to everyone because I'm like, the moms are now my friends.
Yeah. You got the mom. You got to get the moms. If you got the moms behind you, you know.
Yeah. Nothing about the mamas. So yeah, exactly. Well, go have a great day. And again, thank you so much. This was fun.
Thank you very much for thinking of me.
Thank you.